4.4 Visual Presentation by Trey Brown and Meg Grosso. Our prompt was, what is the impact of a single moment on life, and how do our choices reveal our character? In the book Macbeth, written by William Shakespeare, the single moment that changes Macbeth's life is when he kills King Duncan. Once he kills King Duncan, he starts to realize how easy it is to get the things he wants by just killing the people who get in the way of his life. This starts Macbeth's murdering spree. In Act 3, Scene 2, Macbeth is speaking to Lady Macbeth about killing Banquo when he says,
"There's comfort yet, they are assailable. Then be thou jocund, ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate summons the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums hath rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note."
How does this prove an impact of a single moment in life? When Macbeth says, they are all assassable, the translation is, they can be killed. They means Banquo and Fleance. Macbeth wants to kill Banquo and Fleance because the witches told him that Banquo and his line of sons will rule the throne for generations. Ever since Macbeth has become king, he's decided that no one is going to overthrow him. So, when the witches present the idea of Banquo being the next king, it makes Macbeth feel threatened. Macbeth doesn't want any trouble brought to him, so he decides to take an easy route out, making the problem disappear, also known as killing the person who caused the problem. By killing King Duncan, Macbeth was brought to the realization that killing gets you what you want. For example, he killed King Duncan and he got the throne. So, when Macbeth was thinking about killing Banquo, he thinks about what he is going to gain from it. He would have gained his thoughts at peace because he wouldn't have to worry about Banquo anymore. In all, the impact of killing King Duncan showed Macbeth a more simplified way to solve all his future and present problems. How does this reveal Macbeth's character? This reveals Macbeth's character by showing the reader that when it comes to dealing with problems, he is a more physical than verbal solving type of person.
Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. A single moment altered the lives of Lenny, George, and everyone else living on the farm. That moment was the death of Lenny's puppy. This leads him to be alone with Curly's wife, which leads to her death and ultimately Lenny's. On page 85, a quote, "Now, maybe George ain't gonna let me tend to no rabbits if he finds out you got killed." This quote from Of Mice and Men shows Lenny's immediate regret at the action that he has done after he has killed the puppy that he was given on the farm. He shows remorse and worry that George will no longer allow him to tend to the rabbits in the farm that they plan to have after this one. This develops Lenny's character as the reader realizes more so how innocent his character is truly depicted to be. After Lenny has killed his puppy and realized that George will probably no longer allow him to tend to the rabbits on the new farm, Curly's wife enters the barn where Lenny is, and eventually, from the quote shown on page 90, she took Lenny's hand to put it on her head. Feel right around there and see how soft it is. This quote is showing what is going to end up leading to the death of Curly's wife and eventually Lenny himself. On page 91, Lenny says, "I done a bad thing. I done another bad thing." This quote further shows the innocence of Lenny's character and then begins to show the reader his lack of understanding as to what reality really is. This is also tying into the sequential events throughout the novel, first being the death of Lenny's puppy, leading to his meeting with Curly's wife, where she places his hand on her head, which therefore leads to her death, and finally leading to the death of Lenny by George's gun.
For our supplementary text, we chose Since You Went Away by James Weldon Johnson in the book 101 Great American Poems. During this poem, James Weldon Johnson says,
"Seems like to me that everything is wrong. Seems like to me the day just twice as long. Seems like to me the birds forgot his song. Since you went away."
This poem shows the impact of a single moment on life because the author is talking about the death of an important person in his life. The author explains that by having this person die, it makes him note obvious changes that have occurred due to the person now being gone. That concludes our final presentation. Thanks for listening.